6 p.m. Time for CBX Business News. The business news headlines is brought to you by CBX Wealth Management, making more possible.
Flight cuts ground U.S. travel. Good evening and welcome to CBX Business News for Friday, November 7, 2025. I'm Rochelle Moncrief. Thanks for joining us. Coming up in the newscast locally, Jamaica Customs Agency extends tax waivers on hurricane relief items through year end. On the regional front, tourism and credit expansion anchor the Bahamas' 2025 growth. Central Bank warns of inflation risks. And over on the global stage, the U.S. orders nationwide flight cuts as the government shutdown disrupts air travel operations. Stay tuned as we unpack these stories and more right after the break.
Wealth is not simply counted in dollars or cents, but in the time we spend with love, in love, giving love. Wealth is not simply a means to an end. It is the means to live out loud. Wealth is more than money. It's about family, the memories you create, the legacy you leave behind, and your ability to enjoy life in the moment. It's also about seeing the CBX possibilities and seizing investment opportunities to achieve the future you want and deserve. Which is why CBX Wealth will focus on your investments so you can experience more. Because true wealth is truly more. To start investing today, call 876-926-7767.
Okay, I just sent the money. I'll WhatsApp you the tracking number.
Thanks, Daddy. I can't wait to buy that PS5.
Listen to me. Your birthday money is not just for spending. Remember what I told your mom? Remember to open the bank account immediately after collecting the money. Your mom has her ID, TRN, proof of address, proof of income, and your school ID.
I'm not an adult yet, so Mommy will have to open the account with me.
Yes. Anyways, I'm headed back to work, so call me later. I love you guys.
This financial literacy tip is brought to you by Bank of Jamaica, promoting financial inclusion. For more information, visit our BOJ Real Talk playlist on our YouTube channel.
The local news is brought to you by Darriman Trading, better from the start. Development Bank of Jamaica, facilitating economic growth and development. Caribbean flavors and fragrances, tease the senses, and Pulse Investments.
Welcome back to CBX Business News. We begin with a major development aimed at accelerating Jamaica's recovery from Hurricane Melissa. The Jamaica Customs Agency has extended its Duty and General Consumption Tax (GCT) waiver on relief items until the end of December, a move expected to unlock millions in aid supplies from Jamaicans overseas and international donors. Chief Information Officer Andre Williams says the extension allows individuals and charitable organizations to continue sending critical supplies to families affected by Hurricane Melissa without paying import duties or GCT.
It really allows them to send that is any of the approved items that have been on the list. And I'll just go through some of them.
Sure.
Things like clothing, cleaning products, wipes, tissue, toiletries, bed linen. We know that persons have lost everything in their house. Bath linens, kitchen utensils, pots, pans, plyboard, zinc, nails tarpaulins, which is needed. Generator, of course, is a necessary component as well, right? And so we have up to 5,000 watt in terms of size, tents, igloos, and bed cots, stuff like that. Non-perishable goods as well. So food is in fact included. We want to ensure that persons are aware. Non-perishable items, gloves, solar floodlights, lanterns, mobile battery packs, and of course the water purification kits are included as well. Battery-operated radios and temporary sanitation systems.
He notes that while the two largest taxes are fully waived, some minor statutory fees remain in place.
So these have all are now seeing a zero rating of the customs import duty as well as the GCT. So some of these items may have the smaller fees like environmental levy, special consumption tax, but that's pretty much it. And the customs administration fee, but there's no import duty and there is no no GCT on these items.
And as the flow of barrels and boxes of relief supplies continues through Jamaica's ports, the Jamaica Customs Agency is warning that all duty-free concessions for hurricane relief must reflect genuine household needs, not commercial stockpiling. Mr. Williams says while Customs is fast-tracking entry of approved items, the agency has also tightened checks to prevent misuse of the tax-free benefit.
Right. And we want to be very, very clear that the government has given this relief for persons to benefit. These are goods that are not for resale, but that are destined to be given to individuals. Right. Of course, though, there are persons who would want to send what is deemed a commercial quantity, but of course this is a private contribution, and that is where the charitable institutions come in. Okay. Right. So there are a number of registered charitable institutions. We have Food for the Poor and a number of others, and so persons who are associated with charities will be able to now send this larger quantity, and the documentation in regards to the bill of lading, the invoices, etc., packing list, and then the broker will do up the declaration. And of course, as we said, these are being treated as priority in regards to the inspection and releasing of those goods.
That was Chief Information Officer at the Jamaica Customs Agency, Andre Williams. Scotiabank has announced a 165 million Jamaican dollars relief package to support national recovery efforts following the widespread devastation caused by Hurricane Melissa. The financial commitment, one of the largest private sector responses so far, aims to help rebuild communities, restore livelihoods, and strengthen economic resilience across the island. The initiative includes Canadian $400,000, which is equivalent to 48 million Jamaican dollars from Scotiabank's regional operations, 100 million Jamaican dollars from the Scotiabank Foundation, and 12 million Jamaican dollars in care packages donated by employees. The bank also pledged to match staff contributions up to 50,000 Canadian dollars or 6 million Jamaican dollars. Scotia Group Jamaica's president and CEO, Audrey Tugwell Henry, notes that the bank's response extends beyond immediate aid. Scotiabank also indicated that special customer assistance programs will be rolled out in the coming days to provide financial relief for affected clients, particularly small businesses and individuals managing post-storm losses. Meanwhile, restoration work is underway at several branches damaged by the hurricane to resume full banking services as soon as possible. In other news, the Jamaica National JN Group has reignited its flagship I Support Jamaica Fund to accelerate humanitarian and economic recovery following the devastation of Hurricane Melissa. The initiative is being repurposed to channel donations from Jamaicans abroad directly into relief and rebuilding programs targeting the country's most vulnerable. General Manager of the JN Foundation, Claudine Allen, says the decision to reboot the fund came as international goodwill surged.
We are inviting everyone to give what you can. If what is the most convenient and efficient use of your donation is cash, send that. Jane Money Services will accommodate remittances to go towards those who are most vulnerable. If what you can give are pantry items, donate those as well. The Jamaica national team in the UK is accommodating shipments to Food for the Poor here in Jamaica. And Food for the Poor has a wide network and strong tradition of getting aid to people who need it. So we are supporting their efforts.
That was General Manager of the JN Foundation, Claudine Allen. We move to the latest updates from the JSE Equities. In Friday's trading session, the JSE market activity resulted in the trading of 105 stocks, of which 43 advanced to close at 3,379.55 points.
And it's time for Market Education Feature, brought to you by CariCris, Regional Ratings, Global Standard.
In today's Market Education Feature, we will be talking about down payments. A down payment is an initial amount a buyer pays up front when purchasing a costly item such as a house or car. It typically represents a portion of the total price, while the remaining balance is covered through financing from a lender. Down payments of up to 20% are typical when buying a car or a home. Making a larger down payment can greatly lower the total amount borrowed, reduce interest costs over the life of the loan, and decrease monthly payments. Additionally, a borrower's credit score and income play key roles in determining the types of loans they may qualify for.
The Market Education Feature was brought to you by CariCris, Regional Ratings, Global Standards.
And that's it for the local news segment. Please stay with us. The regional news is up next.
The local news is brought to you by Darriman Trading, better from the start. Development Bank of Jamaica, facilitating economic growth and development. Caribbean flavors and fragrances, tease the senses. And Pulse Investments.
Serious about building Jamaica? Build with solid PVC pipes and conduits, manufactured in Jamaica by Phosphate, made to the highest standard. Solid PVC pipes and conduits are made in Jamaica by Jamaicans for Jamaicans. Available at hardware stores across the island. Take some solid advice, support our economy, and build well. Buy solid PVC pipes. Next time, ask for solid brand PVC pipes and conduits. Call our distributors or Phosphate at 876-937-5099.
Welcome back. And now for the regional business news. The Cayman Islands government has signaled a bold new direction in fiscal resilience, with Premier Andre Ebanks announcing plans to explore catastrophe bonds and layered insurance instruments designed to shield the nation's economy from future climate-driven shocks. Speaking in Parliament on Thursday, Premier Ebanks said the near miss from Hurricane Melissa underscored the urgency of financial preparedness, describing the initiative as part of a broader strategy to strengthen the country's long-term economic security. The move draws direct inspiration from Jamaica's US $150 million catastrophe bond structured through the World Bank Treasury, which delivers rapid liquidity when disaster triggers such as wind speed or rainfall thresholds are met.
The devastation we witnessed in Jamaica could have easily been our own. This near miss must serve as a clarion call for our own preparedness. Like Jamaica, the Cayman Islands must develop and maintain layers of risk protection, comprehensive insurance mechanisms, emergency response systems, and innovative financial tools like catastrophe bonds.
That was Premier of the Cayman Islands, Andre Ebanks. The Bahamian economy continued to expand over the first 9 months of 2025, buoyed by tourism and foreign investment, though at a slower pace than last year. That's according to the Central Bank of the Bahamas. At the bank's quarterly press briefing on Thursday, Governor John Roll says the economy is expected to grow slightly above its medium-term potential, led by cruise tourism, resort development, and private sector lending.
Tourism inflows continue to be the main driver of growth, alongside sustained foreign investment targeting cruise attractions and residential and resort developments. Nevertheless, constrained hotel sector capacity and weakness in the U.S. visitor market generated a subdued stopover performance, in contrast to a healthy expansion in cruise earnings. The economy also experienced stronger demand stimulus from private sector credit amid more favorable lending conditions, which consequently slowed the pace of accumulation in foreign reserves and bank liquidity.
On the financial front, commercial bank lending to the private sector climbed nearly 7% through September.
As to credit, commercial banks lending to the private sector strengthened year over year by almost 7% through September 2025. And this compared to growth of about 4% over the same period a year ago, which was still a substantial uptick from the subdued pace of lending both up to and during the period of the pandemic. Across the major credit categories, the most accelerated category of lending was for commercial activity, correlated with financing of local energy sector investments. There was also a slightly faster pace of growth in consumer loans, but a slower rate of growth overall in residential mortgages.
That was Governor for the Central Bank of the Bahamas, John Roll. In other news, Trinidad-based conglomerate Answer McCall Limited has posted another solid quarter, reporting a 12% jump in revenue to TT $2.02 billion for the 3 months ending September 30. Profit before tax climbed 22% to TT $250 million, while earnings per share rose 25% to 91 cents, reflecting gains across all major divisions. The chemicals business more than doubled profits, supported by higher output at its U.S. and Trinidad plants. Financial services improved by 36%, and its Carib Brewery brands made fresh inroads in India, the UK, Guyana, and the OECS. The group is also sharpening its portfolio, selling Standard Distributors and Bridens Express in Barbados, and has become the first in the region to launch an AI-powered HR platform. Chairman Anthony Sabga says Ansa McCall remains on track with its 2x growth strategy, focused on expansion and disciplined financial management, as its gearing ratio improves to 25%. It's now time for news from the Trinidad and Tobago Stock Exchange. Overall market activity resulted from trading in 18 securities, of which 5 advanced, 0 declined, and 13 traded firm. Today's winners are Ansa McCall, First Citizens Group Financial Holdings, Republic Financial Holdings, and Massey Holdings. There were no decliners recorded in today's session. Trading activity resulted in the following movements. The All-TNT Index advanced by 11.55 points to close at 1,378.61. The Composite Index advanced by 6.17 points to close at 950.08. The Cross-Listed Index advanced by 0.05 points to close at 68.75. The SME Index remained at 95.60. And we take a short break, but please do stay with us. The international news segment is
been coming along well.
Thanks, man. You know, it's a long time I've been working at it.
I can see that. I saw your mail by the gate, so I'll pick it up for you. But tell me something. Why are you still receiving dividend checks by mail?
What do you mean about that?
You need to give JCST a mandate.
You know, me hear about the mandate them. I'm going over there right now.
A mandate means giving instructions to the Jamaica Central Securities Depository Limited, JCST, relating to the handling of your dividend or interest payment. There are 3 types of mandates. The first is a bank mandate. The second is a hold mandate. Lastly, we have what we call a third-party mandate, with which the investor may wish to send their dividend or interest to someone other than the parties on their account or institution of their choice.
So much book you need for high school?
I'll show you how to make sure you have all the money for my books and even some extra. It's called budgeting, Dad. Making a budget is the most important thing you can do to track your money. It keeps a record of how much you make, how much you spend, where you spend it, and most importantly, how much you can save. Write down all your income, write down all your expenses, see where you can cut down and allot more money to more important things, like saving.
In international news, the ongoing U.S. government shutdown is now grounding air travel nationwide. The Federal Aviation Administration has ordered airlines to cut 4% of flights at 40 major airports, rising to 10% by November 14 and possibly 20% if the shutdown drags on. About 700 flights operated by American, Delta, Southwest, and United Airlines were canceled Friday, with more than 2,600 delays reported by mid-afternoon. Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy says deeper cuts could follow, depending on conditions in U.S. airspace. American Airlines CEO Robert Isom warned the situation could become problematic as cancellations mount. The aviation industry fears prolonged disruptions could erode tourism revenues and consumer confidence, already under pressure from the historic shutdown. While aviation struggles to stay above, the manufacturing sector is moving in the opposite direction, with one of America's biggest exporters doubling down on production. Boeing has launched a $1 billion expansion of its North Charleston, South Carolina facility to increase production of its 787 787 Dreamliner. The plane maker expects to raise output from 7 to 10 jets per month by 2026, supported by strong global demand for wide-body aircraft as international travel rebounds. The expansion will double Boeing's manufacturing footprint and help address an order backlog of nearly 1,000 planes. The move also positions the company against European rival Airbus, which plans to boost A350 output to 12 jets a month by 2028. Boeing's investment signals renewed confidence in long-haul aviation and underscores the fierce competition shaping the next phase of the global aerospace industry. But while Boeing builds towards growth, another major manufacturer is fighting to survive financial collapse. First Brands, the bankrupt auto parts giant, has won court approval for an additional $600 million in rescue financing, bringing total bankruptcy funding to $1.1 billion. The decision follows weeks of negotiations between the company and creditors concerned about repayment terms. U.S. bankruptcy judge Christopher Lopez described the agreement as remarkable, given the uncertainty surrounding the company's finances. First Brands filed for bankruptcy in September after lenders uncovered major accounting irregularities and alleged that its founder, Patrick James, misappropriated hundreds of millions of dollars, claims he denies. With over $10 billion in liabilities and key creditors, including Jefferies and UBS, the case has exposed deep risks in the private credit market. The fresh capital provides breathing room, but questions remain about how much money is missing and where it went. And in the media world, a high-stakes standoff continues between two industry giants battling for streaming dominance. Disney and Google's YouTube TV remain locked in negotiations after the streaming service lost access to ABC and ESPN last week. Disney executives accused YouTube TV of demanding below-market rates, while saying they offered a cheaper deal than before. Savings that could have been passed on to subscribers. The blackout has left millions without ABC's election coverage and ESPN's sports programming, highlighting rising tension between content owners and digital distributors. YouTube TV has faced multiple disputes this year as programming costs soar and platforms compete for profitability. And that's it for the international segment of the newscast. The news recap is coming up on the other side of the break.
Me grew up and see my granny and save her money under her mattress.
Exactly. Okay. Your grandmother's house never burned down?
No, how you reached this, so? That was a one-off thing.
That could have happened to anybody. That's why you must put your money in a financial institution and protect it.
What if the bank crash?
Well, that's where JDIC comes in.
What you mean?
JDIC is a financial safety net which provides coverage for your money in case your financial institution fails.
Explain that to me.
All right. Because of the JDIC deposit insurance scheme, once you put your money into a financial institution like a bank or building society, you can get coverage of up to a maximum of $1.2 million per deposit of your financial institution if it should fail. And for even more information, you can visit their new website at www.jdic.org. And you can follow the social media platforms for the latest information.
JDIC, protecting deposits for you and me. It's feeling so good right now. Feeling so good right now. Yeah, yeah. It's feeling so good right now. Feeling so good right now. Yeah, yeah. It's feeling so good right now. Don't never, ever, ever wanna calm down. Oh, no, no.
I'm Haley Grant. You're watching CBX